Hey there! Today I'm going to talk about a fountain pen which is a bit of a design icon. It's been around from the 1960s, the mid-60s, and you can still buy it today, and although there have been some minor tweaks, the appearance is still pretty much the same as when it was launched. So apparently this is a successful pen, and we're going to have a look at it today. The pen came in this fairly plain box, but you push it, another box comes out, as well as this nice little booklet. The most interesting thing about the booklet is that I've spilled quite a bit of ink on it. This is what happens when you own too many inks. And here we have the box. So it is a Lamy pen. You open up the box, you have to hold the pen, otherwise it falls out. Here we have the pen, and the pen is, of course, the Lamy 2000. Designed by Gerd A. Müller, who was, I think, also involved in the Bauhaus movement. Oh no, wait, it was the, wasn't it the pentagram designers? Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Look at this. This design was launched in the 1960s, and it is still used now. It looks fairly futuristic now. It must have looked extremely futuristic then, and it's still there. So I'll discuss the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and I'll do a writing sample. Okay, so let's start with the cap. As you can see, the pen looks fairly plainly. It's nothing really spectacular, and yet it has some very nice features. On top of the cap we have this nice little black plastic thing. As you can see, there's actually a reflection in there. This is like a mirror polish. You can really see yourself in there, which is kind of nice. Useless, but kind of nice. Unless you want to check your makeup, then it could be useful, but in any case, it's an interesting thing. What I really like is the clip. Overall, the pen is made of a material that has a very nice feel to it. There's some very, very fine lines. I'm not sure how well you can see them in this video, but they are there, and I think they look really cool. You also see that on the clip, which is made of metal. It's very matte, but it looks gorgeous, and it's really nice to the touch. Another nice feature of the clip is that it moves. If you press down here, you will see the clip opens up. That's very useful. If you want to put it in a shirt pocket, you can just use this mechanism, clip it in there, or put it in there, and let it go, and the pen will clip in place, which is really nice. Okay, then we have the barrel, nice shape, and nothing too fancy there, and we have a blind cap, because this pen is a piston filler, which means it does not take cartridges, it does not take converters. You can only fill this from a bottle of ink by twisting this end of the pen, the blind cap, and a piston will first move back down. You put it in the bottle, or you put it in the bottle, then move it back down, whatever you want. And then you twist it the other way around, and the piston will move up, and it will suck up ink into the pen. That's how a piston filler works. Okay, I uncap the pen. It's just a pop-off cap. Now we see some other nice features. This is, I think, the only metal part on the actual pen itself, apart from the nib, of course, which makes for a very nice grip section. It's very pleasant to hold. As you probably know, I tend to hold my pen a bit high, so I kind of touch this material and not the metal, but still, it's a very nice pen. Also, you can see this really nice shape here, which is a true cigar shape, I think, and it looks very, very nice. Okay, here we have these metal things. They're nothing special, they're just to hold the cap in place. So we have the grip section. On the back of the grip section we have the hole, which will suck up the ink, and on the other side, of course, you have the nib. As you can see, this nib looks fairly small, but still, believe you me, it is a very, very smooth nib. Nothing wrong with that. This, I'm not sure how well you can see that. This is an oblique broad nib. I thought that would be fun, and it is. It is gold. It is platinum trimmed, I think, but it is solid gold, and it is very, very smooth. Another nice feature is the thing you see here, which is an ink window. I can't show you that very well, but it shows you how much ink is left in the pen. So it's very useful, especially with a piston filler, because you can't open it up as with a regular pen that's a cartridge or converter filled, so it's difficult to check the level of ink. And if you don't have an ink window, or the pen is not a demonstrator, then with a piston filler it can be a bit difficult. So, not so with this pen. Beautiful pen. I really like it. Okay, what do I like about it? Well, a lot. The shape is really nice, the nib is really smooth, the pen is pleasant to hold, as you can see, large hands notwithstanding, it's big enough to be used unposted, and yet if you want to post it, it's no problem at all. The cap slides on very smoothly, and yet it's on there tight enough not to fly off when you move your hands around, as I tend to do. Great. Great design. I can completely understand why this is still around. And you know that I'm not a Lamy fan, but this is an excellent pen. There's no doubt about it. Okay, what do I not like about it? Well, nothing. I'm sorry, I cannot think of anything about this pen I don't like. I personally would have enjoyed it if the nib was a bit bigger, simply because I think it looks nicer, but then again it would completely disrupt the design of the pen. Imagine this with a huge nib on there, it would completely lose the streamlined shape. So that's not really a complaint. Okay, then cleaning. Cleaning this pen is very easy because this metal part can be unscrewed. So you can just screw it off. I won't do that now because the pen is inked up. Whatever, I'm like living on the edge. You can unscrew it. Have to be careful. You can put your bulb syringe in here, just flush it out. Well, actually you cannot put a bulb syringe in there, I see, but I'm sure there's some way to flush this out without a lot of trouble. You can just put some water in there. It should be a lot easier to clean than a piston filler you cannot open up, because then the only thing you can do is put it in water, draw up the water, push it out again, draw up more water, push it out again, etc. With a Mont Blanc pen that can take a long time. I can tell you from experience. So, with this pen, it's not really an issue. Easy to clean, another plus. Form follows function, Bauhaus motto, Lamy motto. Great. A lot of thought went into this pen. You can just feel that when you hold it. Okay. So, I like it. It's nice. It's cool. You've got to have one. I think that's enough. Now I'll do a writing sample. And that's all there's to it. So I hope this was useful. And I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, writing with the Lamy 2000. First of all, this is the Lamy Ink. I got a bottle of this for free because I had to wait for the pen a bit because the nib had to be ordered. It didn't arrive very quickly. I'm fine with that. I got this bottle of ink, and what I'd like to show you is this here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? What is this, you might ask? Well, actually it's blotting paper. Now this is not blotting paper meant to blot your written words on the paper. And this blotting paper meant it's a roll of the stuff in there. In fact, it's I don't know how much it is, but it's interesting. It's in there. You can just tear off a bit. When you've filled the pen, there will be ink in this part of the pen. You can just wipe it off with a built-in blotting paper. Brilliant invention. Again, Lamy really thinks about its stuff. Okay, the pen. I'd like to show you a close-up of the nib, but I don't think it's very useful because there really isn't that much to see. It's a fairly plain nib. Alright, well then, let's do some writing. The Lamy 2000. The ink is what I've just shown you, Lamy green, and the nib is an oblique broad. So what is an oblique? For those of you who do not know that, that means that if you look at the nib head on, it will look something like this. It will have a shape like this. This is exaggerated, but that's what it could look like. So it is cut at an oblique angle. What is the use of that? Well, I did a video on that, but for those of you who haven't seen it, it means that you get finer lines in this direction and much broader lines in that direction, and that is the same for every oblique nib. Now this is broad, so it gives quite a bit of variation, which I like. Okay, let's do some writing. Writing, I can tell you, is very, very smooth. This may sound scratchy, but the camera microphone is a bit enthusiastic. In any case, really, it's a great pen with a very smooth nib. Okay, let's do some fast writing. As you can see, the feed keeps up very well with the pace of the writing, which is a good thing. No problems there. Let's look at some line variation. Now, of course, this is an oblique nib, so there is line variation anyway, but under pressure, the nib does open up. Giving you a nice variation in line width, which looks pretty cool to me. Okay, let's do some coloring. As you can see, the pen lays down a very nice, very even patch of ink very quickly. It is an oblique broad, it is a broad, so that's what it should do. Looks really good to me. So here we have it, a very nice pen, very smooth. I can really recommend it. I can also recommend this Lamy ink. This was my first bottle of Lamy ink before I'd only used a few cartridges. It looks very nice. This is a very simple green, and yet it has some nice shading, so it looks really good. So, I hope this was useful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.